October 2001. Outside Arthur Andersen's Houston office, shredding trucks run 24 hours a day. Inside, partners feed documents into machines as fast as their hands can move.
Enron Corporation, seventh largest company in America. Named most innovative by Fortune magazine 6 years running. In 60 days, it will cease to exist.
$74 billion in shareholder value. 20,000 jobs. The retirement savings of an entire workforce locked in company stock they were forbidden to sell. Gone. This is not a story about energy. It's a story about a company that decided the rules of accounting were optional, and an army of enablers who agreed. Houston, Texas, 1985. Two mid-sized natural gas companies merge to form a new entity. They call it Enron. The chairman is a Nebraska-born economist named Kenneth Lay. Lay is connected, charming, and politically astute. He plays golf with George H.W. Bush. He fundraises for both parties. He believes deregulation will make natural gas the industry of the future. But Lay's real genius isn't energy, it's hiring. In 1990, he recruits a McKinsey consultant named Jeffrey Skilling. Skilling has one idea that will change everything.
Mark-to-market accounting. It means you can book the total estimated profit of a long-term contract the moment you sign it. Not when the money arrives. Not when the work is done. The moment the pen hits paper. Skilling convinces the SEC to approve it. Arthur Andersen signs off. And just like that, Enron can manufacture profit out of projections. The future becomes revenue. Hope becomes earnings.
The stock responds immediately. Enron shares climb from $7 to $20, then $40. Wall Street analysts fall over each other, upgrading the stock. Nobody asks where the cash is. But the machine needs fuel. Mark-to-market lets you book profit today, but Wall Street expects you to beat that number tomorrow. And the quarter after that. And the quarter after that. Enter the third man, Andrew Fastow, Enron's chief financial officer. 36 years old, Northwestern MBA, and, as the world will learn, the architect of the most complex financial fraud in corporate history.
Fastow's solution is elegant and criminal. He creates a constellation of private partnerships, entities that exist for one purpose: to take Enron's debt off the books.
16 years. Pipeline company to empire. Natural gas, electricity, broadband, weather derivatives. Fortune number 7.
The names alone tell you something. LJM, named after Fastow's wife and 2 children, Leah, Jeffrey, Matthew. He named his fraud vehicles after his family.
Here's how the trick works. Enron has a failing investment, say a power plant that's losing money. Under normal accounting, you write it down. You take the loss. Your stock drops. But Fastow has a better idea. Transfer the loss to a Raptor entity. The Raptor absorbs the hit. Enron's books stay clean. And here's the beautiful part. The Raptor is backed by Enron's own stock.
It's a circular guarantee. Enron guarantees the SPE with its stock. The SPE hides Enron's losses. The hidden losses protect the stock price, which guarantees the SPE, a financial perpetual motion machine. So who made the money? Let's follow the dead ledger.
3 years. Fastow runs a parallel universe. Public face soaring. Hidden reality collapsing under its own weight.
Fastow personally earns $45 million from the partnerships he created to save his own company. He runs both sides of every transaction, negotiating as Enron's CFO, then collecting fees as the partnership's general partner.
But Fastow isn't the only one cashing out. Between 1999 and 2001, Enron's top executives sell over $1 billion in company stock. They know what the market doesn't.
Kenneth Lay sells $200 million. Skilling cashes out $66 million. Fastow takes his $45 million. Lou Pai, the head of Enron Energy Services, walks away with $270 million and a ranch in Colorado.
Meanwhile, Enron expands into everything: broadband, water, weather derivatives, paper, newsprint. They trade anything that moves, and some things that don't.
Money moves through shell companies spanning 4 countries, always one step ahead of regulators.
Then Skilling gets an even bigger idea. California is deregulating its energy market. Enron's traders see an opportunity that no one else sees, or no one else is willing to take.
Enron's traders manipulate California's power grid. They create artificial shortages. They route electricity out of state during peak demand and sell it back at 10 times the price. They give the strategies names: Death Star, Fat Boy, Get Shorty.
Rolling blackouts hit California. Hospitals switch to generators. Traffic lights go dark. Elderly people die in the summer heat. Enron's trading floor erupts in cheers.
On the recorded trader tapes, released years later, you can hear them laughing. One trader says, "Burn, baby, burn. That's a beautiful thing." Another asks a plant operator to shut down a generator during peak demand. They called it gaming the system.
5 faces, 5 fortunes, 5 people who knew the truth and chose profit.
By 2000, Enron claims revenues of $101 billion. It is the 7th largest company in America. Fortune names it most innovative for the 6th straight year.
The stock hits $90.56 in August 2000. Ken Lay tells employees at an all-hands meeting to buy more Enron stock. He calls it a bargain. He has already begun selling his own. But behind the glass tower, the machine is breaking down. The Raptor SPEs are hemorrhaging money. Enron's stock is the collateral, and the stock is falling. The circular guarantee is becoming a circular collapse. August 15, 2001. A vice president named Sherron Watkins sits down at her computer and writes a 7-page memo to Kenneth Lay. The subject line, Enron.
Her words are precise and devastating. "I am incredibly nervous that we will implode in a wave of accounting scandals." She names the Raptor vehicles. She names the conflicts of interest. She tells the chairman his company is a house of cards.
Lay forwards the memo to Enron's lawyers. The lawyers advise him, do not investigate. Instead, they consider whether Watkins can be fired. She cannot. Texas whistleblower law protects her. Barely.
August 14th, one day before Watkins writes her memo, Jeffrey Skilling resigns as CEO. He tells the board it's for personal reasons. He has been CEO for exactly 6 months.
October 16th. Enron announces a $618 million third-quarter loss. And, buried in the footnotes, a $1.2 billion reduction in shareholder equity. The reduction comes from unwinding the Raptor vehicles.
The Wall Street Journal starts asking questions. The SEC opens a formal investigation. And suddenly, every analyst who rated Enron a strong buy has the same question. Where is the cash?
The answer: there is no cash. There never was. The $101 billion in revenues was largely energy trades, buying and selling the same commodity back and forth, booking the gross value each time. Revenue without profit. Activity without substance.
$101 billion in revenue. 0 in real value. The largest gap between story and truth.
November 28th. Dynegy, a smaller Houston energy company, abandons its planned merger with Enron. The last lifeline is gone.
December 2nd, 2001. Enron files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It is the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. 20,000 employees learn they are out of a job.
But here is the cruelest detail. Enron employees held $5 billion of company stock in their 401k retirement accounts. During the collapse, Enron locked the accounts. Employees watched their savings evaporate and could not sell a single share.
January 2002. Congress calls hearings. The Senate and House want answers. First to testify, Jeffrey Skilling. Senator after senator asks the same question. Did you know? Skilling's answer, repeated 57 times in a single afternoon. I am not aware of that.
Kenneth Lay takes the fifth. He refuses to testify. Andrew Fastow takes the fifth. The men who built the seventh largest company in America have nothing to say to Congress.
Sherron Watkins testifies. She tells Congress what she told Ken Lay 6 months earlier. This time, people listen.
The indictments come in waves. Andrew Fastow is charged first. 98 counts of fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. He pleads guilty. He gets 10 years. He cooperates.
Fastow's cooperation brings down the rest. He testifies against Lay and Skilling. He describes how they knew about the SPEs, about the fake earnings, about the collapsing house of cards.
May 25, 2006. After 14 weeks of trial, the jury delivers its verdict. Kenneth Lay, guilty on all 6 counts. Jeffrey Skilling, guilty on 19 of 28 counts.
6 weeks after the verdict, Kenneth Lay dies of a heart attack in Aspen, Colorado. Under federal law, because his appeal was pending, his conviction is vacated. Legally, Kenneth Lay died an innocent man. Arthur Andersen, the auditor that shredded 1 ton of documents per day, is convicted of obstruction of justice. The Supreme Court later overturns the conviction on a technicality. It doesn't matter. The firm is already dead. 85,000 employees, gone. The reckoning in numbers. Skilling, 24 years, later reduced to 14. Fastow, 10 years, later reduced to 6. Richard Causey, the chief accounting officer, 7 years. Ben Glissan, the treasurer, 5 years.
And the employees. 14,000 Enron workers lost their jobs and their retirement savings on the same day. The average 401k loss, $120,000. Many were over 50. Most never recovered.
Congress responds. In July 2002, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act becomes law. It mandates CEO certification of financial statements. It creates the PCAOB to oversee auditors. It makes shredding audit documents a federal crime. The class action settlement totals $7.2 billion. At the time, the largest securities fraud settlement in history. The banks that financed Fastow's partnerships pay the most. The victims receive pennies on the dollar. This pattern, executives booking phantom profits, auditors looking the other way, regulators arriving after the wreckage, wouldn't die with Enron. 7 years later, it would resurface wearing a different name. Wall Street would call them mortgage-backed securities. Enron's Houston headquarters sold for $150 million, 2% of the company's peak value. The tilted E logo was removed and auctioned. It sold for $44,000, a souvenir from the age of fraud.